being streamed. And anyhow, we figured out, or he helped me figure out what was going on. So now we're able to go live, granted 15 minutes late, but most people watch archive. So if you're joining us a little later than we normally do, great to have you here as we look at 10 minutes of morning comment. Today we're looking at something really inspiring, I think, which is that idea of the common humanity we share, and how that common humanity we share really creates this idea of a common home that we all share as well. You know, that part of our home that is our heart. And so I want to talk about that a little bit and put it into a little perspective here, because I think it's a powerful way to kind of see the world. And so let's take a look at this. So the beautiful part of this particular section of the book, Secrets of Heaven, is talking about Lot. And Lot is that sort of that, I'm going to use my language here. Please don't be offended by it, but it's the way I would describe it. Lot is kind of that little dopey part of us. It's not real refined, wants to do the right thing, but not really quite sure how to do it. If you think of Clarence the angel from It's a Wonderful Life, maybe that little might give you a little sense of what we're talking about here. And in the book, Secrets of Heaven, it says, well, like, this is one way you can consider that Lot part. This may be part of you, representative of a part of you, and see if it fits. And I love the little description here of how that process works. And again, this is a process, friends. This is process of spiritual growth. Isn't something that it's not like prescriptive, it's descriptive. This is what God is doing. We have our role to play, obviously, but this is what God's doing. Like, this is the layout. This is the point of creation. So let's take a look at this beautiful line here about this story. For such people, these words present before the eyes the whole process of reformation and rebirth for individuals who become part of the church. And church here, think of heaven. Don't think of a specific denomination there. Individuals represented here by Lot, the relative of Abraham. To be specific, they first sense a measure of struggle, right? No surprise there. Of course, we're going along and we have these struggles, we have these things that aren't working, but they create this beautiful contrasting opposite that can get us moving in life. And God doesn't inflict these struggles on us. It's just part of the human condition. But when they persist and overcome, in other words, when we keep moving through this stuff, the Lord makes a home with them and strengthens them in goodness. So the Lord starts to rest in our hearts, and we just sort of get strengthened in goodness and by goodness. So we start to see it more places. The world becomes this place where we sense a lot of awe and curiosity. We see goodness all around us, and boy, it's not hard to do. It takes work. It takes a lot of work to do it. But we can get into that habit of seeing goodness around us, which is why the whole practice of gratitude, that's a whole other series in and of itself, is important. God gathers them to himself, bringing them into his kingdom, and lives with them. And that's the idea, friends, and this is very much part of a key part of Christian New Church thought. And I say this a lot. Heaven is never earned, it's practiced. And that's what we try to do. We try to practice it because heaven can start to live inside of us. I mean, Jesus was so clear about that. They're asking, when is the kingdom coming? And Jesus is like, it's in your midst right now. Like, look at right now. And there is a then and there, but there is a here and now. And we can start to connect that and start to connect our lives to that really loving presence in the world. That's why we are angels in training, AIT, as they would say. There he purifies and perfects them. And again, what he gives them goodness and happiness is their own. So God is giving us these gifts of goodness and happiness. And we start to sense the goodness in the world. And we start to become happy people. Doesn't mean there aren't challenges. Doesn't mean there aren't times we're upset. Doesn't mean there aren't things that happen where we point at them and go, that's not right. Doesn't mean that at all. But it means there's this abiding sense of goodness within us. This God does through his divine humanity and holy influence. Through his divine humanity and holy influence. And I think the divine humanity and holy influence are so critical. So what I've been thinking a lot about, because I feel like there's a consistent focus within Christianity on Jesus, and as there should be. And from a Christian New Church perspective, it's amped up, a great deal, because it's this bit of like, oh yeah, that's God with skin on. That's the divine and humanity coming together in this person, in this divine person, Jesus. Again, God with skin on, God incarnate, literally showing us this is how to walk through life. And now let's put all that together. The Bible starts with this beautiful and incredible claim that's key to the Judeo-Christian heritage, our Judeo-Christian heritage, which is the idea that we are made in God's image and likeness. So then we get way into the New Testament. We see Jesus doing these wonderful things, and it's not that we can do it like Jesus does. I mean, this is God. We can't, not even close. We'll do it as just a sliver of a possible morsel of imperfect trying to walk that walk, but that's okay. We still have a model we can go by, and we can start to resonate with that divine humanity. And we start to see that common humanity that's all shared. And I feel that's so much part of the motivation as we grow spiritually. We start to see that humanity all people share, and that common humanity becomes the common home. We start to see it in other people. We start to hear it in other people. We start to witness it in other people. It makes forgiveness work really well. It makes gratitude work really well. It makes growth work really well. It makes every situation much more open to celebration. And it even makes the grieving part, just a lot more compassion because we're really able to see the common humanity that can both be uplifted, and the common humanity as well that can just struggle when they lose a loved one, for example. It allows us to be all those places. And it's just the faintest echo. What we're just trying to do is we're just trying to move life forward as Jesus would have us do it. And the image and likeness of God, well, trees are an image and likeness of God. The world is an image and likeness of God. We're all trying to do our part just to reflect that divinity and to allow it to flow through us. It's not ours, it's God's. And it's this beautiful gift that can just keep on flowing. And when we start to see that common humanity, and we will start to experience a common home. And it really, just interesting. What's coming to my mind is this beautiful statement, just something to mull on, which is a quote about our enemies, quote unquote. And it said, an enemy is someone whose story we don't know yet. I think there's a lot of power in that. I think there could be people that could be real enemies that actually we don't ever know their story, probably don't want to know their story. But for most people who we think of as our enemies, we probably don't know the full story behind it and the full story why they are the way they are. And even that, we get to the common humanity, we'll start to even know people who kind of rub us the wrong way. We'll start to know them in a different light, which is really powerful. So the trick, folks, this weekend, as we go into this weekend, real simple. Take that common humanity as you see it and really look for that common humanity in other people as best you can. And you'll be able to find it. I mean, not with everybody, obviously there'll be moments where we can't see it, but most of the time we will be able to see it. So that's our task as we go into this weekend, seeing that common humanity, remembering that's our common home. So with that, dear friends, now we're going to shift gears. And the way we're going to shift gears is I'm going to ring our prayer bell here. We'll do a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing. And then what we're going to do is then we will say hi to folks on Facebook. Again, I'm not expecting anybody because we're broadcasting live, but maybe we get somebody who woke up a few minutes late. So with that, dear friends, let's get a little breath. And our prayer bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, we're going to do a quick little check here and just see if there is anyone. Oh, it did go out. All right, so that's good. Linda writes, great message. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Hope you feel better. Linda, I'm definitely getting there on the mend, as is my wife. And heaven is never earned but practice. I think that's just one that should be emblazoned on all our hearts. Like, it really does sort of shift things, and it's like we're not trying to make points. We're just trying to be with, and earning points, being with, two different things a lot of the time. And I just think that's a key factor in trying to live a heavenly life, which I find very, very powerful. I mean, I think it's one of the core parts, actually, of a Christian New Church perspective. All righty, so let's see if anyone's over on this page. Marcus, good morning. Marcus, thank you so much, as always. You folks have no idea. Marcus is just so helpful, and because we get all kinds of little glitchy things, and he talks me through them, and big help. All right, dear friends. Well, listen, God bless.